We have history, we have a story. Heartwarming to see all your kind thoughts and wishes and prayers. My God, it looks amazing! Shalom and welcome to my channel. The war in Israel started on October 7th, about 2 years ago, and I know so many of you were praying for me, my family, the hostages, the people in Israel in general, and I wanted to thank you so much and to share some thoughts after over 2 years of war. I'm going to share these thoughts while I make my challah bread for Shabbat, and I'm going to save a small chunk for some buns I've been dreaming about all winter. When we look back at the war now, I feel so victorious, proud, so much gratitude. We carefully took care of our enemies, Hezbollah, Hamas, Iran's Ring of Fire. No one could disagree that we're so much better security position than we were 2 years ago. Our neighbors respect us. But this did come at a very heavy price. Horrible October 7th, all those beautiful people who were massacred, those beautiful people at the party, soldiers throughout this 2 years that gave up so much. We have someone we know who was a soldier and he lost both legs at war. Working now to hopefully give him a prostate leg. So we're still grieving physically, mentally. Oh my God, when it comes to the hostages, you know, what a miracle. We had 20, the last living hostages come back. They all came back. We still have one hostage, but this was a complete miracle. And there's a video where I interviewed my son and I said to him, you know, at that point, there were 100 hostages in Gaza, and I said to him, Yair, what do you think about the hostages? And he said that they're coming back. And at that point in time, you know, no one really believed that they were coming back. We were praying for a miracle. The living hostages that come and show us so much courage, and they tell us what they've been through, and we gain so much strength from their stories. Incredible stories. One of them said, you know, when you open the fridge and there's food, that's a whole world in there where you could just eat what you want. And one of them said, you know, he's never gonna have a glass of water again without saying a blessing to God for water. People that were hostages that said that before, you know, they didn't know much about their Judaism or their heritage. All of a sudden, you know, in captivity, they, wait a minute, I want to know the blessing. I want to say Kiddush. I want to know these things. If these people hate me so much for my heritage and for who I am, then maybe I should, you know, appreciate this heritage, learn more about it, know more about it. And a lot of Israelis have found that they're much closer to their Judaism, much closer to the story of the people of Israel and what we've been through in the generations. Also, this entire war, I learned so much about perspective, and the way you look at things makes such a difference. Like during the whole war, are you viewing Israel as, you know, we're taking care of our enemies, we're winning the war, we're surprisingly doing okay financially, even though we have this crazy war to fund? Or do you view Israel as a country in ruin, we're falling apart? A co-worker of mine who's left-wing, you know, said from the beginning, he said, you know, we lost the war already, let's just bring our hostages back. We lost the war, there's nothing we could do at this point to win the war. Channel 14 is a news station in Israel that gained a lot of popularity during the war, and they try to look at things, you know, with the full glass mentality that Israel's winning and we got this. Also, I think it helps to have a perspective that, you know, is more spiritual and deeper, and also looks backwards more at history and at the context in which we're living in, and what we've been throughout the generations. We're part of a story. It's not just some random war, and we're not some random country, but we have history, we have a story. What's been so amazing in this war are our soldiers, the reservists, people that took hundreds of days from their life in the last 2 years to protect their country, to make sure that we could live here safely. There was a tremendous heroism on the October 7th where people just ran. There's that story of the guy who ran 14 kilometers to save people. But there's also people that from that day and in the last 2 years have been giving and risking their life so that we could be here. And it's so amazing to think that we have these people, and me and my friend said we're almost jealous of them, that they're contributing, and we're in the war, and what can we do? Like, we can't really be part of it. So we did what we can. We tried to cook for their families while they were away. And we have a good friend who's done hundreds of days of reserve duty. He has 3 kids, and he just started a new job. And we said to him, did you tell the new work that you're a reserve duty, which basically means he might be missing in 2026 for a few good months. We're hoping that the ultra-Orthodox and other people can contribute so that we don't need to milk our reservists that they're collapsing. But, it looks like 2026 is going to be a year where they're going to do reserve duty. And he, as much as he's so proud of it, he's risking his life for his country. It's such a great thing. He said, people told me, my wife told me not to mention the fact that I'm a reserve duty. And if I do end up doing 2 months of reserve duty, it's not something you want to say when you interview. And she said, yeah, the wife said, yeah, it's kind of like you're a mom. It's an amazing thing to be a mom, but it's not necessarily something you want to mention in the interview. And also I realized that to me, Israel is such a special place, and there's no other place I'd want to live. We're living in such special times, and I really feel like Israel is the place to be. Like in Hamilton, the room where it happens, I really feel that Israel is where things are happening. The Holocaust and even Israel's wars seem like something so distant, but this war made everything so relevant. And, this is part of history. We're living history, and I want to be here. I want to be part of it. These are just some thoughts that I had after 2 years of war. Again, thank you so much for your prayers and warm words. I can't tell you enough how much it moved me to see comments, someone writing from Ireland, just so you know, a lot of us here in Ireland support you in Israel. It was so heartwarming to see all your kind thoughts and wishes and prayers. And we'll keep praying for Ron Gvili, the last hostage, who's unfortunately deceased. Before October 7th, he had a shoulder injury, but that didn't stop him when he heard that people were in need. He was a police officer. He ran to defend his country and did so much to defend people. So, Bezrat Hashem, hopefully he will get the burial he deserves in Israel. So thanks again for being here, and I hope to see you in my next video. Shalom! Okay guys, cinnamon buns, here we come. I am super excited.
My friends say, girl, you better take care, 'cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down I know I might be headed for teardrops, now that you got me.
Okay, now my Cinnabons are ready to go in. So exciting! We have our challahs that came out of the oven, and we have our Cinnabons with the frosting we're gonna taste soon. My God, it looks amazing! Oh my gosh, I am so excited, guys. Okay. Gosh, okay, so I'm gonna heat this up for 5 seconds. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אלוהינו, מלך העולם, בורא מיני מזונות. Oh my gosh, this is so delicious.